My name is Christine. I live in Toronto, Canada. I'm an interior designer. I like living in Toronto because it offers a lot in the world of art and design. When I get a bit overwhelmed by the commotion of the city, I escape to the Toronto Islands. I think traveling is a way to get to know myself better as well as the world around me, and I go on trips whenever I can. Galapagos Islands are about 1,000 kilometers west off the coast of Ecuador in South America. They're formed from volcanoes, some of which are still active. The islands are famous for their unique species of plants and animals. The famous naturalist Charles Darwin visited the islands and, from his observations, developed the theory of evolution. I landed in the city of Quito in Ecuador and had some time to explore before we set on to our cruise of the Galapagos. The center point of the old city is crowned by the statue of the Virgin. As I gazed over the city, feeling the force of the wind and the views of the mountains, it was spectacular. I was surrounded by Ecuadorian families flying the kites in the wind as the wind just tossed them around, kites that were made out of newspaper, tracing paper, kites that were more elaborate in design that flew as high, if not higher, than where I was standing on the statue. Watching the kites fly around me, the anticipation of my trip lay before me. I was excited and looking forward to the cruise around the Galapagos Islands, which I knew that we would visit about 5 different points on at least 6 different islands in a total of 13 islands. Approaching the islands on a cruise on the beautiful boat that I was on was serene. Hiking through the highlands of Santa Cruz Island was a real pleasure. The forest was really quite diverse. It was a jungle-like terrain. My guide, Yvonne, was really quite knowledgeable about the identification of the different plants and birds.
Look, Chris, a vermilion flycatcher.
Wow, it's beautiful.
It's the only land bird in Galapagos that is not black and gray. It's all colored.
Is that right? Look at the color, it's just bright reds. Oh, there it goes.
The giant tortoises are among the most unique animals on the Galapagos Islands.
Hello, little guy.
They are majestic to look at. They do look 200 years old. Possibly some of them are.
There are 2 types of shells. There is a dome shape, like the one we see right here, and then we have the saddleback.
The tortoises are of great interest to the Charles Darwin Foundation, and they've paid a lot of attention in reintroducing different races onto the islands.
What they do is they have a symbiosis with the birds, like small ground finches, like mockingbirds. They will come and peck all the insects, all the parasites actually that they have.
Right.
And tortoises will help them. They will stretch all the legs and the neck, exposing all these difficult areas so that the birds can come and peck them without any problem. You see, they don't have any teeth. It looks like a parrot or like a bird beak. It's they have a horny plate, and they just bite off a piece. They don't really chew it, and they just swallow it, so they don't
And they're vegetarian.
And they're vegetarian. You can see if you're a vegetarian, you can grow that old.
The famous tortoises are so popular that the people that live on the island have been coming to the spot to have their wedding photographs taken. The next island that we visited was Bartholomew. It was a relatively new island with new vegetation on new lava flow. Each island that we went to had to be approached by a dinghy. It was either a wet or a dry landing. My guide, Fernanda, was extremely knowledgeable and lots of fun as well. She had lots of information about the islands and their ecology. She had mentioned to me that we must keep within the parameters of the trail in order to protect the environment. As we hiked up, the scenery became increasingly more and more incredible. The view of the ocean and the landscape was spectacular.
The name of that island is Santiago or James Island. Look at the landscape from here is very beautiful with the beach and the Pinnacle Rock, the most famous geologic formation that we have here in the Galapagos Islands. And that's a very good place to make a snorkel and swim because the people can find easily the sharks.
Oh yeah, that's scary.
Yeah.
They get eaten by them, do they? No.
No, of course. So the sharks are very friendly here in the Galapagos Island.
Our journey then continued on to the next island on the following day. As Fernanda pointed out, it was an older island, so it therefore had more growth and more forest. We hiked across a small beach and then into the forest, where, if you were quiet enough, you would be able to view the surrounding birds.
Look at that little bird there. The yellow one?
Yeah.
That one is the yellow warbler.
Oh yeah.
That's the female with a yellow, light yellow coloration on the feathers.
Right.
The male has a strong yellow coloration on the feathers with a little part red on the head, on the top of the head.
Right.
That's the difference between the female and the male.
Oh, I see. The color is beautiful.
Oh,
on
it's
it.
very nice.
Very
it's
yellow.
very beautiful. That's the sound that they make.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Look at the land iguana over there.
Oh, I see it.
Can you see the color that that one has with a yellow or a brown color? It's the same color of the ground here. Is like a camouflage that they use.
Can you tell if that's a female or a male or?
So the male is a little bit more longer than the female. I think that one is a female.
Oh, I see.
It's very fat, so that one can find easily a lot of food around, especially they eat cactus.
Right.
And look at the other iguana over there coming. That's the male.
Oh, look at it. It's coming.
Look at the movement that that one has with the head.
With the neck.
He's a little bit angry.
He is.
Yeah.
Because he knows we're here.
Oh yeah. Look that. Before in this archipelago, the people eat the iguanas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The land iguana is one of the species that we have here in Galapagos that is in danger of extinction. That's the reason why the people of the National Park and the Charles Darwin Station are making a very good work trying to eradicate all the introduced animals that we have on the islands.
Later on that afternoon, we approached an island that had quite a rough and rocky coastline, providing many small shallow pools for fish to swim in and birds to catch their prey.
Are those pelicans?
Oh yes, those are pelicans, the brown pelicans that are feeding in this area. This is a very rich area with a lot of food, a lot of
yeah.
fish, and that's the reason why they are here feeding.
Lunchtime, eh?
Oh yeah, lunchtime. Look, they are younger brown pelicans learning how they can get the food in this area. Look at that, huh? Like torpedoes.
Yeah,
into
it's
the
amazing,
water.
eh?
Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah.
90-degree angle, bang, down.
Right.
Like how many different types of birds do we have here?
We have species that you will see just here in the Galapagos Island, and we have other species that are migratory species that come from other parts of the world and make the nests on the islands.
Right, oh I see.
Look, the frigate bird over there.
Fernanda then led me on a trail that took us up to a higher altitude on the islands where we could get a view of the rolling hills covered by Palo Santos trees from which they make the incense that we burn in churches.
The vegetation that you can see around of this area is called holy stick.
Right.
It smells very well, very, very sweet, and the people use that into their houses to put out the mosquitoes.
The hill continued up where we were able to look over Darwin Lake. Fernanda explained to me what was so different about this lake.
It's from a natural formation, and the water from the sea come into the crater as you see here.
Wow, this lake is beautiful.
Yes, it was formed by natural filtrations of water from the sea
Right.
into the crater.
How deep is it?
It's more or less 9 meters deep. More or
Oh.
less 9 meters deep.
So it's not very deep at all.
No.
No.
So you cannot find any kind of life into the lake because the water is very, very salty.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, very, very
Not too
salty.
many fish or anything
No,
like that?
no, definitely no.
Yeah.
During the rain season, we have a very thin layer of sweet water on the surface that the migratory birds especially arrive to this lake and drink that water.
Oh, I see. It must taste good to them, I'm sure,
Oh,
after.
yes, sure.
Fernanda and I then hiked up to the top of Isabella Island. She showed me a view of some of the 5 volcanoes that made up the island. Some of the volcanoes were active. In fact, one of the volcanoes the year previously had exploded. I was a bit glad, and yet at the same time a bit sad, that I had missed that. The volcanoes were covered by clouds, so we couldn't get a good view of them. But the vista was an incredible sight to see.
Look at this lava, this formation of the lava here in Galapagos we call pahoehoe. Pahoehoe is a Hawaiian word that we use here in Galapagos. In the other side of the island, we can find the other kind of lava that we call a'a. Because it's very difficult to walk on that kind of lava, and if you try, you will say ay 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 or ay ay. Right.
It was incredible how many different kinds of wildlife there were. Wherever I walked, there was always something else to see. The highlight of the cruise was a visit to Fernandina Island, where the marine iguanas lay their eggs and the first seals give birth.
Look, the animals there, those are the marine iguanas. In this island, Fernandina, we can find a very big colony of them living together in the same area as you see here, because they are trying to keep the normal temperature on their bodies.
Right.
Because when they go into the water, they have a very, very low heart system.
Oh, I see. It slows right down.
Yeah, very, very slow, like that.
How long can they last in the water?
They can go into the water 45 until 60 minutes.
Wow,
They are
that's quite a
very-
long time, actually.
Yeah.
Eh? Yeah.
They are very good divers, and they can be into the water for a long time.
Yeah. What's the crown on their heads?
That's salt. When they go into the water looking for food, they drink a lot of salt water. So when they come to the island on land, they have to put all of that salt water out of their bodies. And that's the reason that why they spit salt water from their noses.
Oh, I see. And is there any way to tell how old they are at all, or
Oh, they can live
difficult?
until... Yes, it's a little bit difficult, but the most bigger and the most fat iguanas are the most older.
Oh, the fatter, the older, eh? I see. I see.
They can live until 60 years old without any problem.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
they can
60
live
years old.
60 years old.
Wow, that's quite a long time.
The marine iguanas and the lava black rock melded into one, and it was difficult to see the camouflaged iguanas. But as you concentrated long enough and gazed long enough on them, their characteristics became quite amusing to watch as they cradled each other for warmth and slithered into the water looking for their food.
Look at the marine iguanas over there.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, they are resting because they had a very, very hard day.
Yeah.
You wouldn't think that an animal so coarse on its appearance could be so graceful when it was in the water. I had no idea that iguanas could swim so well. Our final destination was San Salvador, or James Island. Most of the islands have at least two names, the Ecuadorian name and the name given to them by their settlers. Fernanda pointed out the island to me from a distance earlier in the trip, and we decided it would be a good place for me to finish my journey. It was really wonderful to have a chance to hike around on my own. Further on along in the island, there was a lagoon. I noticed two flamingos standing in the water off to the side. What was remarkable about them was I found that their fantastic coloring in shades of pink and red and white and in their feathers resemble the shrimp that they eat. I believe it's the keratin that turns the feathers to make the color so vivid. I was told if I followed a trail around the coast, I would reach a grotto-like area where the sea lions will put on a playful display for me. I hiked along the trail and along the coastline to an area where I found sea lions basking in the sun and playing in the water, doing various different ballerina-like moves. They were really quite fun and interesting to watch for a long period of time. Traveling to the Galapagos Islands has led me to several different conclusions on how I see the world that we live with, the creatures that live with us, and seeing firsthand these rare creatures gives you an insight as to how frail nature can be, yet the endurance nature has to persevere and survive. I saw the respect and care that the tour guides had about the islands. They were very concerned about keeping the islands ecologically sound. And I feel that with a growing awareness amongst people, the islands will continue to thrive.